Hello, guys. My name is Liam Kewen, and I'm here today to talk to you about community alternatives to violence. I not only have volunteered for this organization, but I've interned with them 2 summers in a row. They are a wonderful organization that deals with domestic violence and sexual assault. They help rehabilitate people who are court-ordered to go to classes after domestic violence issues occur. However, they have many other programs, which is what I'm going to talk to you about today. These are things that everyday average people can do, things that we've implemented in high schools, and even in the community around us. This organization is placed out of the state, and later on in the presentation I'll talk to you about what you can do as an individual separate from the organization to help benefit the community around you. So to start off, I'm going to talk to you about the bystander effect. This is one of the biggest things we focus on at the CAV with our Mentors in Violence Prevention program, which is initiated in the high school. However, we do hope to promote it into other schools, reaching all the way down into intermediate, and there are also college programs for this organization. It focuses on the bystander effect, which is essentially a social psychological phenomenon that occurs when there are people around and you as an individual decide mentally someone else will do something about whatever is going on. In our organization and area of interest, we see this a lot with domestic violence on the streets. I had a friend who was up in New York City walking down the street, and all of a sudden a man started beating on a woman in front of a bus, and she just sat there and just expected someone else to step in, someone else to say something. Being a young woman, she didn't feel physically able to step in. However, what we try and teach our students and those in the community who take part in this sort of program is that oftentimes it's simply saying something that dissolves a situation or causes people to snap out of what they're doing. Another reason for the bystander effect is we're trying to promote a more universal accountability wherever you are, whenever it occurs. So moving forward, we'll talk about male stereotypes. So this is a second large area that Community Alternatives to Violence is trying to combat and break down. It's been seen by many similar organizations, batterer intervention programs is what they're called, that today in our society we have a lot of negative, false stereotypes about masculinity. These things include having anger instead of sadness, being taught to be tough and not open, which leads to communication issues down the line. It leads to issues when connecting with others, and this is what we see leading to things like domestic violence and sexual assault. People who aren't fully capable of expressing themselves, or who feel that expressing themselves makes them weaker or less of a man. We do also, however, have women's classes where we bring in women who have been prosecuted for domestic violence. They usually go through a slightly different course because of the stereotypes that tend to follow with them. And so finally, I'm going to go on to what you all can do as individuals in your community to help promote the message that CAV is spreading. The first and biggest is being educated. Getting to know the issues in domestic violence and sexual assault and why they occur. There are many resources. The CAV has some of their own, but there are other organizations, like I mentioned, batterers intervention programs that put out articles and handouts that educate people on how you can recognize if domestic violence is occurring, but also how you can help or be there for someone. Sometimes a simple word to someone suffering from domestic violence can mean a world of a difference. Thus, we like to promote that you simply listen and that you comfort and you validate the feelings of the individual in the circumstances. Additionally, what you can do is you can help break down male stereotypes by interacting with the males in your life accordingly. Teaching your little cousin that it is okay to cry, and that being sad doesn't make you any less of a man than someone who is constantly fighting the action, as we see in most of our influences. Finally, the final thing you can do in your communities is to promote respect and accountability. These are two things that the CAV heavily focuses on and that we believe are a great root in the issues we see. We believe that by understanding and respecting others in your environment and in their environment will lead to a happier, kinder, more understanding community. So today I walked you through a few of our ideals and philosophies, a couple of the things that we're trying to combat and promote. I talked about the bystander effect and what it is and how we can stand up against it by taking a stand and voicing your words, using your words. I also talked about male stereotypes and how we're trying to break them down, break down the negative ones and promote positive male stereotypes of comfort and protection and kindness. And finally, I addressed how each of you can go out into your daily lives and take this and put it into action. I hope you've all enjoyed the introduction to CAV, and I hope you go out and take what I've told you and put it into action. Thank you for your time. Again, my name is Liam, and this was the Community Alternatives to Violence.